Ok, was in recording. E aí galera, tudo bem com vocês? Muito bem-vindo a mais um vídeo aqui do canal. E hoje estamos com o Dr. Nesse mais uma vez e vamos conversar um pouco. Eu recebi essa pergunta aqui. Próximo vídeo você poderia fazer ele falando o que mais gostou e gosta de você e o que eles, americanos, pensam sobre nós brasileiros. Essa pergunta do Joelson Gomes. Eu falei que ia organizar esse vídeo, então vamos organizar. So, the video today, it's about you. What do you think about some stuff in Brazil, right? So, we went to Brazil in 2021.
This is 22, wasn't it?
Yeah, 22, and then last year I went by myself, correct. Alright, we got the tickets, and we went to Brazil. What was your first impression? Like, alright, because I was scared. I actually was afraid that once we got there, he was like, oh, I hate this place. This sucks. This is too poor or something like that. Or he wouldn't like my friends or my family, something. I was afraid. He knew, right? You noticed that I was like stressed and I was worried about you not liking my city, my hometown.
You're too much in your head.
It is. So how was it when you got there? We went from LA to Fortaleza. And from Fortaleza, we went to my friend's house, to Grace's place, and we spent the whole day there. It was awesome. We went where? A restaurant. We ate some churrasco. And then, how was your impression when we got there first?
So, we got to back up a little bit because Elzo didn't talk about that I've been to Brazil before. I've been to Rio, loved it. So, of course, I told him many times, don't worry about Brazil. I will love it. I will be fine. And then, based off of how I was raised as a kid, right, a lot of things in Brazil are very similar to, like, how I was raised as a kid. Very simple, living on the farm, the animals. Like, I loved it as a kid. So, I knew when I was going to go to Brazil, I was going to love it. The piece that I was nervous about, internally, like he didn't really see it because I like held it in, was like meeting his family, because that's the first time I got to meet his family. So since we've been married all this time, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm finally gonna meet his family. I'm nervous as shit. I'm like, I hope I make a good impression. I hope they like me. Da 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 da.
You saw Fortaleza first, right?
Yeah,
Because we got a bus at the end of the day to go to Barbalha.
which was my idea. I'm like, let's just take the bus. It's fine.
Yeah, but during the night, he wouldn't see anything because he was like, I want to see the stuff around, you know, the views, but we couldn't see anything during the night. But we could rest.
Yeah,
because airplane
all the
sucks.
travel.
Airplane sucks. But alright, we got in Barbalha, let's say 6:30, 7 a.m. Rebecca, Paula, Sarah, they didn't pick us up. I have a video you guys are gonna see here. And I remember I was like,
oh my god, oh my god.
I was tense. I was really
And
tense.
this is the first time of us seeing the house, or me seeing the house. You're so nervous. I'm like, chill out, peace out, Girl Scout.
We already had this party. Yeah, everything was scheduled already. And we got busy because this first week, we had to organize everything about the party. And the weekend was the party. So we didn't go anywhere. We didn't see any place. We were just organizing, getting fireworks, drinks, everything ready. So how was your impression of the house and the city?
Okay, so the first question that we asked before was about Fortaleza arriving and everything else and my impression. Of course, I loved Brazil from before, so I knew, like, we showed up to Fortaleza and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful here. I love it. It's tropical. Like, that's my calling. Like, I tell Elzo many times, like, when I retire from the military, can we just live in Brazil? And he's like, no, not yet.
I mean, the plan is 6 months there and 6 months here. I don't know if she's gonna ever work.
But eventually, when I retire and, like, we're done, and I would live in Brazil, like, totally, and be totally happy and fine.
Me
And
too.
we'd be having many parties, many churrascaria. But, so, yeah. Fortaleza, loved Fortaleza. I remember at one point, before we got on the bus, right, we stopped at the bus station, and they had coxinha there. And I went up to the counter by myself, and I was like, dois coxinha, por favor. And they're like, are you German? I'm like, no. Estados Unidos. Oh, okay. So they started speaking a little bit of English with me. But so we got the coxinha, loved it, of course. And then the bus ride, and then, long bus ride, but we had like the I call it the Gucci seats. So we had like the best seats on the bus, and
That's
the
the-
air ride and everything.
Tá ligado aquele ônibus que tem leito, né? Cara, confortável, very comfy. Compared to the bus and to the airplane, it was really good. Like that moment, I was like resting for sure. So when we got in the city in
I
Barbalia,
wasn't resting that well because I knew I was getting ready to meet his family. I was nervous as shit, but I didn't tell him.
and then we got there during the day. You saw all the roads,
Yeah.
in my hometown, all the blocks and stuff.
Yeah, the cobblestone roads. Yeah, so bus ride, we arrive in Barbalia, and it's like, okay, here's the time I'm gonna meet his sister and nieces, and then there's his family right from the beginning, like Paula. She was like, oh, just crying, coming, hugging me, and kissing on the side of my cheek, and his little nieces. Like, it was great when I met them at first. So we get in the car, pack up all of our luggage, and Elsa's mom was waiting at the house. And of course, Elsa's like, oh, I hope he likes the house. And we go, and of course, the house was perfect. And his mom was there waiting when we came in the door, and she's like, oh. Now, I have already met Elsa's mom prior to us going to Brazil's, because she's came before. So, at least I knew her and stuff. And then, of course, I met his brother later on. But it was so warm and welcoming. And then the party part, right? So we jumped to the party. One of the big things I remember about that is we were going to buy this stuff for the party, and we went to the store to buy beer for the party. And Elsa was just going to get a whole bunch of cases of beer. And I looked at him, I said, how much for the entire pallet of beer? And Elsa's like, what? I'm like, yeah, hell with it. We're just our party. Let's have fun.
Você sabe aquela mostruário todinho de cerveja? Aquilo tudo. Tudo. Was crazy. Oh my god.
Because, in America, that's kind of something we would do here. Like, just not going to take the whole pallet and we'll have a party to the party. And the fireworks, too, because we had fireworks. And the cops showed up.
But it was amazing. It was a lot of people. But before that, we got sick. We went on Thursday night. We went out with a couple friends. Actually, he bought this grass machine to cut grass.
Weed eater.
And then
I was out.
5:30 p.m. he was cutting grass. And you guys know how mosquitoes are in Brazil. 5:35 p.m., 5:36 is the time that they used to come out. But they are there the whole day between the grass. So he was cutting grass, and then all the mosquitoes coming around. And I was in this hammock at the house, and I feeling all the mosquitoes coming. And he was there with shorts and flip-flops. Havaianas. And I was like, Les, it's not time to do this. So he did, as he always does, this shit. So we went, later on, we went to this place with a couple friends. It was in Juazeiro do Norte. It's another city. And Italo and his boyfriend, we went to have fun and was dancing. My brother was with us as well. And then he started, like at the end of the night, he started shaking, feel itchy as well.
Like, chill, and then all of a sudden I started getting all these little dots.
A lot of little dots. So it was the chikungunya. There was a huge, how can I say, what is the name when something happened and it's like go everywhere? It's como fosse uma pandemia. Yeah, como fosse uma pandemia de chikungunya. In my city was the number one.
Meu amigo, chikungunya.
And then picou ele. Fomos pro hospital no outro dia. E eu tava de boa. I was fine at first, right? And then when I went to hospital, we drove back home, and then I started to feel bad and I threw up. It was crazy. So he got way more symptoms, like he was feeling it really bad. And I wasn't. I was
Because I was the gringo. They were like,
Os mosquitos me morderam ele. Sangue bom novo. O meu, falso gringo. And then ele foi-se embora, não me mordeu muito não. Mas eu acho que eu já tenho alguma imunização. Sei que eu não fiquei tão doente quanto ele. Ele ficou acamado. Mas we took a lot of medicine and we could do the party. But I was afraid. I was afraid that maybe the party wasn't going to happen, but it will.
Oh, we still did.
And it was crazy. It was amazing. It was a good time. He had fun, even sick, but he had fun. He took shots, didn't drink a lot, but sang. What else? Danced with many friends. Took so many pictures. Who doesn't like? Because he doesn't like, but he took. So I remember Will said, "Hey, I think he's like getting crazy because so many pictures."
No, I know.
People were like stopping us to take pictures often on the street, stuff like that. So he was kind of famous in my city. It was a great time.
But you're famous too, because everybody's like, oh.
Ah, gosh. Dia a gente tava dirigindo o carro, passou umas motos, eu nem lembro quem era, e o povo dando tchau. Muito bacana, assim. A galera fez uma boa recepção pra ele e eu ficava muito lisonjeado, sabe? Eu fiquei muito feliz, muito feliz. I'm telling that I was so happy because people were very welcome too. Because that's important. Because he knows I have a lot of friends there, and you know, it would be bad if people like, oh, I don't like him. No, well, he was good vibe and everybody, they match the vibes. It was a great time.
So talking about how his hometown and like me growing up as a kid was like, so it's like I felt like at home there because like the people who watched me when I was a kid when my parents would work, they were very minimalists, very big in the church and stuff like that. So it's like every morning going out, getting the eggs. They had a donkey. I would ride the donkey when I was a kid. I mean, like we would go out and get the frango and make the frango and eat the frango. O comemos the frango. Go out. They had a garden. We would pick from the garden, all that stuff. So, and living out like on the country where there was nothing, like going to Brazil, I was like, I love it here. His hometown. One day we were driving and all the cows were walking down the road and we had to pull over. And of course I was joking with his mom. I'm like, come?
Comida.
Ah, yeah, I'm gonna eat all the cows. Come un bife. Muito bom.
And then from there, I believe, you know, we visit some family members, my grandma, stuff like that. But it was very, how can I say? It was very slow because we were sick. And unfortunately, people are sorry. All the time, I'm sorry, it happens. First time he came and he won't be back anymore. He gonna hate Brazil. And now, we are already getting ready to go back soon. And then we spent, 3 weeks there. We went back to Fortaleza. I was, you know, excited to have the opportunity to show him Fortaleza because I love that place. But he was in the hotel and he got worse and worse. We did
one day. But after that, I was bad.
We got
the dunas.
The bungee jump, não sei o nome, and it was amazing. But the other day, he got worse, like 100%. And then,
move.
Yeah, he was laying down all the time. So I had to go to the Orla nearby the beach and just by myself. My cousin showed up, so we went around. And he stayed alone at the hotel. And then when we got back here, because the flight, I don't know how, but affected him, and he got worse, way worse. So when we got here, my cousin took him, put him on his back, and put him in the car, and it drove him to the hospital. He spent 4 days?
No, 2 days in the hospital.
2 days in the hospital, like in a bed. It was really bad. Really bad. And he spent almost 2 years taking medicine, those bad medicines. But gladly he's better.
So I want to talk about one part where I met some of your family, right? And now I have my favorito tia, Avalanche. Yes, I said your name. This is for you. When I first met her, I remember her telling me, she's like, if you do anything bad to Elsa, I will kill you. And I was like, I like you a lot. So now she's like my favorite tia.
Elzo, it's me, Dan. That's my name in the United States.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Elzo, not Rapariga Dan. Your aunt's daughter, I just totally forgot what her name was.
Carol.
Ana
Carolina.
Carol, she came up and started talking to me, but she could speak English. So I was like, oh, okay. But I remember when we first met, she's like, speak slowly. And I was like, okay, no problem.
I had another friend that speaks English.
So I wasn't on a little island by myself when I was there. Some folks did speak, so it was nice.
It was nice seeing my friends trying. they're trying, and it was pretty nice. And now he's trying too because he's doing Duolingo. He actually winning the how can I say competition.
I was.
Okay, because we get points, and he was always in the top. Every day I have to do a little bit, and he got better. Like many days he come up with some new words, and that makes me proud a lot. It's pretty nice because I see that he sees that it's not easy to speak another language, and it's hard as fuck. Mainly for them, it's way worse than for us Brazilians because we consume English songs everywhere. So it's a universal language, but we are more used to it. But for them, it's a nightmare.
Like there's some some of the verbs and things how they change.
How verb changes.
That's like I still don't understand.
That's the point
so I get
where
that wrong many times.
Where I'll say like English, it's not that hard. Because you're gonna stop to see like the verb doesn't change. While in Portuguese, Spanish, French, Italian, they all change. If it's you, it's a thing. If it's they, change for another thing, right? Just change. It's crazy how it is. And we are used to it, but we learn since we're kids. So
yeah.
It's easy for us. So for them, it's hard.
The next time I go to Brazil, I'm sure you'll understand me, but I'll probably say it wrong.
It's fine. He learned this song, Prostituto, vagabundo, não vale nada. He was singing all the time. People were asking him to sing all the time. It was crazy. It was crazy. Because
of course, it's a bad song.
Because he learned the bad song with bad words. So,
but they were playing it like every hour.
Everywhere. All the time. But yeah, we had a lot of fun over there. And I'm really excited to go back. And to have another good time back in Brazil. The other question is, what you like in me? What you like in me?
What I like in you? So, from how he was raised, right? And like his soul or like his person, like you can just tell like from deep down inside of him that he has a good soul to him. So that was like the vibe that attracted me to you. It's just that I knew you were such a good person and you have a good soul.
Amen. Thank you.
Even though he's crazy as shit sometimes.
I'm not crazy. What do you think about us Brazilians?
Brazilians? Like what you told me or like...
No, Brazilian. Us, me, my family, my friends. Brazilians. What do you think about us? As a general, a whole.
So, not understanding all of Brazil culture, but now understanding it since I'm married to a Brazilian. Like... Brazilians love to touch, they love to be energetic and fun and social all the time. Us Americans, like Elsa says, we're very cold and we don't do a lot of things or welcoming and stuff like that. So, getting out of my comfort zone and learning about Brazil culture and stuff like that, like I just love the fact of how you go there and it's like you're part of the family, like they like it's different. It's like very welcoming. So Brazilians, I love the culture and I like love how you just welcome folks in.
Yeah, I always tell them like my friends here, bro, if I meet in Brazil, right? If we meet someone today, we have a good time at the bar, something like this, and you fall away from home. Oh no, you don't have to worry. You're gonna sleep at my place. And I don't know you. It's like that. Like I don't fucking know you when you're gonna sleep at my place tonight. And then the friendship starts from there. How many people I know this way, And for them here, it can happen, but it's difficult. It's not always.
Oh yeah, it's like people just go their separate ways. Like
yeah, it's I believe Brazilians are like that, and it's everybody, of course. Not every single one, but most of the people we are very welcome. Mainly with people who comes from outside, because we always have like, oh no, we have to do a good impression. We have to give the best food, the best sex, the best everything.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, good.
So there was one day that we went to your grandpa's house, right? And that was really nervous because, of course, me and Elsa being married to each other and stuff like that, we just didn't know how he would perceive it. But went there with all the family and everybody was super welcoming, like always. And then I got to meet your grandpa, and he was a super nice guy.
He was. And, one thing that, how can I say, makes me really happy He's kind of a little sick now. He's pretty old. But when I went in 2021 by myself, when he saw me, like he can't speak very well anymore, but he cried. And every time that I go, I see his eyes get full of water. Like he sees me, he sees that I'm well.
And I did meet your grandma on your dad's side. So a thing about that story is she was out and she was popping beans, right? I used to do that with my aunt when I was young, right? We would sit out on the swing and we'd go pick beans from the farm and just sit there and snap beans all day. I remember as a kid, I hated it, but then I loved the time when I'd sit with my aunt and we would swing and do that. So that kind of reminded me of that too. And that's the part of the life in Brazil. It's just like, I just love that part. So
yeah, because sometimes we go to my, grandma's house, aunt's house, and they are there doing this, how can I say, open the beans, whatever. Mm-hmm. We just help them and keep the conversation, like, yes, so yes, this and then that. And then we keep the conversation for, hours. And while doing this, it's amazing. And, you help it then at the same time that you're going to get some good beans for dinner.
That's all you need.
Exactly.
I do remember too, I met one of your aunts when we were downtown. I remember we were driving the car and she's like, oh, and we had to go pull over real quick and met her.
Yeah, that's true. It was always like that. We're driving around, someone, hey, waved, or we see someone and we stop, people taking pictures. We used to get home and there was some gift, stuff like that. It was just a good time. It was really good, really good.
We did meet one of his friends that owns a store there, and we happened to go to the electronics store because the clothes washer broke, the one that we had in the house before. So I was like, let's go buy a new one.
Yeah, my mother, she was, doing laundry by herself. And then he's like, come on here, let's go over there. So we got a brand new to her. He was like, are you sure? So, yes, let's do it. So he did buy one new, and then she was like, I can't believe it, because she was working hard.
And then we'd go home and we would never have dirty laundry because mom would always wash it and have it hanging up outside.
Yeah, because the one that he got, wash, and at the end it's almost dry already.
Yeah.
It's not 100%, but it's almost dry.
It spins.
So
dry.
Stay less time outside.
And then, so we found the hardware store there too. So there was faucets that we changed out and put the flex faucets in. And then one thing I remember specifically is your mom had a water filter in the kitchen, and it would take a full day to for the water to filter through it. And then she would just store it in the fridge. And I'm like, let's go find one and replace it. So
he was changing everything in the house for better, of course, but he was changing. Oh, it doesn't work. I'm gonna work. Oh, I don't like this. I'm gonna change. Blah 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 blah. That's all right, because he can't stay.
We put
doing nothing.
New LED lights outside for the patio, all that stuff. Maybe one day when we move back to Brazil, we'll start a winery, a trascaria, or a breakfast, Estados Unidos breakfast.
That's his dream one day, maybe, right? For the picture. Smile. Did you smile? Damn. Did you smile?
Yes, I don't know.
Good. Ok, vamos ficando por aqui. Eu espero que vocês tenham gostado do vídeo. Deixa aí um comentário. Se você tiver algum questionamento, ideia, alguma coisa que o Lance possa falar, manda aí, porque quando eu mostro pra ele só perguntaram isso, vamos fazer um vídeo respondendo. Aí ele vem e faz. Comenta aí, dá uma curtida, compartilha se puder, beleza? Tamo junto, até o próximo vídeo. Tchau.
Tchau.
Thank you.
De nada.